Olympus TG5, let's see what we get in the box. Olympus TG5, let's see what we get in the box.
In the box you are going to find your Olympus TG5 in one piece and mains 1.5 amp power supply, as well as some drawings of available upgrades that you can buy for your Olympus TG5. Unfortunately, manufacturers of this Olympus TG5 camera do not supply standalone charger as manufacturers of Nikon AW100 did, so you will have to charge your battery using the supplied 1.5 amps micro USB charger. I got this camera only for 2 hours to test it, so please forgive me if I forgot about something. I tested this Olympus TG5 camera against Nikon Coolpix staff camera family, as I used AW100 for last couple of years, and the last Nikon model, Nikon W300, is the only decent competition for Olympus TG5 on the market today. The camera itself looks solid and there is nothing wrong with it from the quality point of view. I would like to see more elements made of unpainted steel, especially corners that usually take most of the hits. Manufacturer promises 2.1 meter, it is 7 feet shock resistance and 50 feet or 15 meters of water resistance. There is one strong eyelet for camera strap, unlike Nikon TAF camera family that provides 2 eyelets, but it is not a DSLR, so it is not a problem. Olympus came out with this brilliant idea of adding a BuyOrBuyNot socket that allows installation of 40.5mm filter adapter and additional wide-angle and zoom lenses. The original parts are expensive, but you can always go for parts fitting 40.5mm adapter. A set of filter is a must. The good thing about filters is that they are usually cheap. In the right corner above you can see what a simple polarizing filter gives you, so I truly love that Olympus thought about 40.5mm converter socket. Another brilliant idea is a set of macro adapters that are simply a must for this camera. It is LED light guide and flash diffuser. I will tell you why in a couple of minutes when we get to the camera video and photo testing. As I already told you, I got this camera just for a couple of hours, so most of the video footage and photos were taken in full auto. I tried some manual settings, but simply I had too little time to get acquainted with all of the functions. Unfortunately, I would like to have more manual settings, but you have to have in mind that this is just a compact, tough, waterproof camera. Okay, let's begin with the first video footage that I took in 4K just after collecting the camera. As you can see in this very footage, the weather was not the best, but was good for shooting video, not too much sunlight, not too little. My windshield wasn't cleanest that day, but that's good. I was able to check the ability of camera to focus on the background, not dirt on my windshield. As you can see, the video is crisp and there is lots of details available. While recording through my windscreen, the camera focused on the windshield a couple of times, but in general TG5 did a good job. When I turned the camera to record in auto-vlogging mode, the focus was lost for a brief moment, but I would say that autofocus works good during filming in good light conditions. The next thing I did was having a closer look at the camera and the extras available for it, as well as a brief look at the camera's manual, finding the most important functions it offers. So I made a couple of short videos testing its 4K video quality and slow motion at 1080, 720 and 360, where 1080 can be recorded in 120 fps and looks good and with proper lighting conditions great, 720 with 240 frames per second looks usable, and 360 with 480 fps, well, but it is not really usable unless you want to record a fast movement of an object filming the whole screen. Overall slow motion for compact camera? Well, it's great. Let's get back to our 4K videos. I had some problems with shooting 4K videos. A couple of times camera simply stopped recording 4K without any pop-up telling me what was wrong. Was it SD card that was too slow, or was it CPU overheating? Finally, I managed to shoot 4K in highest quality. You are watching the sample video now. The video, if done in good lighting conditions, looks very good. I tested rolling shutter and to be honest, the camera does the job, and with good light and high shutter speed, no interferences that I would have noticed. I tested the camera by recording my backyard lawn and I have to say that I was impressed. So I usually test cameras by recording grass, similar color and loads of small details. I hadn't thought thought that Olympus TG5 would have done such a good job. As Olympus TG5 is a waterproof camera, it is completely sealed, so if you open it in wet conditions, and it is not difficult here in Ireland as we have around 80% humidity most of the time, I noticed condensation on the LCD screen while recording 4K. It shows that CPU works hard during 4K recording. The amount of data collected during 4K recording is massive, and it is more or less 1 GB per minute of your recording, so remember to check Olympus capability table for your SD cards and buy the biggest card you can afford, because 20-minute video will take 20 GB of your card memory. I advise at least 64 GB. CPU works hard as I just stated, so do not expect long battery life while recording 4K. But that statement is true about all the cameras recording real 4K available on the market today. So the best option is to get a number of batteries and a dual battery charger. I gave you a couple of affiliated links below, so you'll be able to find something suitable. Okay, now a bit about the zoom. I never use digital zoom, so let's not talk about it. The optical zoom is too slow in my opinion. It would be nice if it had two settings, fast and slow, but it is just a compact camera, so it should not be a big problem. The problem it is that it is noisy and shaky when operating, so have it in mind. Time to talk about focus. Autofocus works better than in my Nikon AW100. It is not a speed demon while recording a video, but it will keep video focused and sharp most of the time and will refocus after using zoom, so it is much better than in my old Nikon AW100. Again, it is not a speed demon, but I am happy with it as I used a couple of tough cameras before and this one seems to be the best so far. Sensor performance. The advice here is extremely simple. Shoot in good lighting conditions, the brighter the better. I noticed that during shooting at home during a bright day, I got loads of noise. Just check out the areas marked in the video. Overall, this camera does not like low light conditions. Simply use it actively outside and take photos with flash when inside. I brought sample pictures taken by this camera on the official Olympus webpage, and I noticed that most of these pictures were taken with ISO 100. Most of them in great conditions, and only one picture I found was done with ISO 1600, where you can see loads of noise. ISO can go up to 12,800, but it is simply unusable. Please let this weak sensor performance not repel you from buying this camera, because the best bits were left for the very end of this review. White balance. There is manual temperature selection for your white balance, and this is one of the great features that I saw only in some of the GoPros, but you cannot compare these two cameras. So this feature is brilliant and it does not exist in comparable Nikon W300. And now the juiciest part of them all, macro. Macro in this TG5 is simply spectacular. First of all, AW100 to AW130S cameras would focus, let's say, 2 cm, that is 4/5 of an inch from the lens. This TG5 focuses from zero distance and it will focus. Here are some samples of both videos and pictures in one of the macro modes, and you will have 4 of them. There is this microscope mode that gives really stunning results. If you are not new to macro photography, you will know that focus field depth is very shallow when you're taking macro photos. TG5 has this brilliant option of taking 4 photos with different focus, then merge them into one picture, and the results are simply mind-blowing for such a waterproof compact camera. They are spectacular, all of them done in auto mode. You will be able to take pictures so close that the object will almost cover the whole lens. Thus you will probably have to buy those LED guide light and flash diffusers that I talked about before. Affiliated links below in the description. Macros are simply fantastic. TG5 will take raw pictures in Olympus ORF file format. If you're really into adventure photography, you will be able to get all from your pictures. You will not take raw pictures with your Nikon W300. Well, it is high time I gave you the final grade, and my final grade is 90 out of 100. These are the features that I had to take these 10 points out. Noisy zoom that is a bit too slow. Too much noise with higher ISO settings, but brilliant with lower settings. Slow focus focus when taking videos, but it will simply outclass a W300 in the following: mods and extras from both Olympus and third parties, filter lenses, covers, loads of them for such a small camera, superb macro, simply exceptional. And you have to remember about the better white balance options. If I was to choose between a Nikon W300 and Olympus TG5, Olympus TG5 is the winner. And to top the review up, I was so impressed with the macros taken with this tough Olympus that I am thinking of getting one. For my macro shots, it is so good. As usually, affiliated links to the camera in the description below, and remember, if you get one, macro diffusers and polarizing filter is a must for this very camera. You would not find this option with W300. Subscribe, bell the notifications, and see you next time.